So, I heard you read the book The Chrysalids.
Yeah, I did, and I found this really great illusion in it.
Oh, what was it?
It was, the illusion was the Badlands.
Mm-hmm.
And you know when the author's talking about all of the areas around Aknuk?
Yeah.
And he talks about the fringes and the Badlands. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know
Yeah,
that
yeah,
part?
I know,
Okay.
I know.
And there's a place in the U.S. that's exactly like that.
Really?
Yeah, it's so cool. Like, I Googled it, and all these pictures came up of, like, barren, rocky land, kind of like the Grand Canyon, but with no plants.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, nothing can live there, nothing can survive, because there's no food chain or anything to, like, live off of.
Besides rock.
Yeah, besides rock, and nothing can live with rock. And it's really cool because, like, that's exactly what the author was talking about. So if you know what the Badlands are, you can be like, oh, like, this is perfect, and it makes so much sense.
It helps you image it better.
You can imagine it, and it's just like, whoa.
Yeah.
I totally get that now.
Yeah.
So it was pretty.
I did come up with one illusion. I found this one illusion that I found, like, interesting in the book was that the people that they called the mutants. These people had all sorts of deformities, such as 6 toes.
That was Sophie.
Yeah, Sophie had 6 toes. Albinotism.
Yeah, the guy guarding Rosalind.
In
the fringes.
In the fringes.
Yes.
There was people with, like, overly large or long body parts. That was the spider. They called him the spider dude. Like, yeah. But yeah, and there are many examples like that in the book, but those were the main ones that I thought I would just point out.
I remember those ones.
But those kind of deformities aren't just found in storybooks. They're found all over our society today. These people, they're kindly welcomed into our society, unlike the fridges. But
no, that's Waknuk.
Unlike Waknuk, they are welcome in the fridges. They're not welcome in Waknuk.
Mm-hmm.
But people still tend to treat them differently here just because they look different. Most people don't intend to offend people, but just by doing something as easy as staring, because, like, you've never seen it before, can offend someone. It could be one of the meanest offenses there is. Like, if you were to stare at someone that was really short.
Yeah, like, when I met you, I was like, oh my god, she's so tall.
Yeah.
Like, she is so tall. I'm like, jealous, because I want to be that tall. And I just, like, stared at you, like, the first English class we ever had together. It was kind of freaky. I was like, don't look. It's weird.
But other people make offenses on purpose, like bullying, name-calling, and harassing.
Yeah.
So these people with these kinds of deformities have harder times trying to be accepted to our society than most people do, making their lives a bit harder. Like, I think I would probably be considered a mutant.
Yeah, probably.
Thanks.
Just because you look... Just because you don't look different, it's just your proportions. So do you remember when we read that book, The Chrysalids?
Yeah, I do remember that book. Yeah, I think I read it once or twice.
It was okay.
It's okay.
It wasn't, like, great or anything, but yeah. It's like, I was reading it, and I was like, man, I need to ask some questions.
Yeah, because, sometimes you need to ask questions.
Yeah. So, like, the first one I came up with was, what do you think about this community's expectations?
I think they are very high.
High standards.
Yeah, like, I think their expectations to be overly perfect or way too high.
Everything needs to be the same or it's not okay.
Yeah, just like our society today.
Yeah, like, if we're not skinny or if we're not tall enough, we're weird.
Yeah.
And, like, we don't fit in.
Yeah.
To the norm.
Like, messed up.
Mm-hmm. That's good. What is their society based upon? Was my second one I came up with.
God.
Yeah.
And Jesus.
And
the Bible. And the Bible.
God's, what is it? What's the word?
Created?
How, like, the image of man to God. And if, like, someone is not exactly the same, then they can't live there.
No.
I thought that was dumb.
Yeah, that was...
It's not very welcoming. Not very loving. And then I came up with, why were Catherine and Rachel the first ones to be captured? I don't know why. Why wasn't it Rosalind or Petra?
I think because they found out that they had magical thought powers from Allie.
Who's Allie?
Allie married Alan, and she told Alan all of the thought thinker people's secrets.
It's
It's Allie and Alan.
Is it really?
Yeah.
My bad.
Anyways, and they were really close with them, so I think that's why they were the first ones to get captured. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, like she could have told Alan about them first, then Alan went and told the inspector, and then he captured them.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Okay, and why is the image of God so important to this community? That's a deep question. Because they're Catholic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're religious and they don't want to disobey God.
Yeah. No, that's like a legit reason. And why was Alan's death not investigated? Did you think that was weird?
Because they didn't want to cause a big scene and have everyone freaking out that there was a murderer running around shooting people.
Yeah. And then, like,
so they just
Allie
covered
killed
it up.
herself. And nobody knew.
No one knew.
And it's just like, oh, where'd she go? I don't know. And why do you think David thought about killing Petra and Rosalind? Like, that made no sense to me. I didn't really understand that.
Because if they were going to get captured by the Wakanaks, they were going to torture them. They were going to torture them, and they all decided that they would rather be tortured. They'd rather kill themselves than be tortured.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I feel like, no, nobody can know about this. I'm just going to kill myself first. And, why do you think David, Rosalind, Catherine, Rachel, and Petra, and Michael only have a special ability? Like, why doesn't anyone else have it? But then in Sealand, everyone has it.
No, not everyone has it in Sealand. Just a lot of people have it.
It's more common.
And if you don't have it, you're considered weird, but they still accept you. And I think it's because everyone that does have thinking power lives in Sealand, and very few people
live in Wacknock.
Yeah, it's just like very few.
They're like opposite communities.
Yeah, you know, like they have like their own town. Like, you know how mostly Canadians live in Canada, mostly thinkers live in Thinkland.
Sealand.
Well, that's what I meant, but you know, kind of Thinkland. It's in the Sealand, but.
Yeah, that makes sense. And what do you think the essential quality of living changes evolution? That was a quote from the Sealand woman. Like, I think it means like the quality of living needs to change, and the change in the quality of living is evolution. So we evolve by changing the way we live. I thought that was like a really good quote from it, so
yeah,
wanted to think about it more.
Is that it?
And why do you think Sealand is so advanced compared to Wackanock?
Because it seems like the Wackanock kind of in North America, and that the Sealand is located in Europe, and everyone always talks
about. Is it really?
Well, it seems like it because it's like across the sea, and it says that they live in St. Lawrence. So it kind of sounds like they live in North America, because they talk about places from the States and all this other stuff, and it seems
and it was based on like the world after the apocalypse.
Yeah, so I think that the Sealand is located in Europe, and Europe has always been more advanced than North America.
It kind of seems like it. Yeah, but I think that they might be more advanced because they can all mind think.
Oh, that's true.
Not mind think. Think, picture, think. Yeah. Because then, like, if they don't have to describe their thoughts, it's already described for them.
And they can just do
so
it.
they just do it. And then in Wackanock, they have to, like, tell each other, and sometimes it's harder to put things in words instead of just thinking it.
I know what you mean.
Mm-hmm.